AITA for not serving my wife breakfast, lunch, and dinner when she demands it. About 6 months ago, my wife and I decided to split household duties, totally her idea. I had been cooking a lot and she basically said she hated cooking and figuring out food, and if I kept doing it, she would be happy to take on the majority of housework/cleaning. We tried it and thought it went well, so we kept doing it. Easy enough. On to the issue. I've started cooking in bulk. On Saturday and Sunday I make one giant meal each day in our instant pot and portion out the remainder of the food into serving-sized Tupperware, basically meal prep. I've also stocked the fridge each week with lots of jellies, meats, and cheeses, and the pantry with lots of snacks and bread for quick sandwiches. Now, during the day, she'll randomly come into my office and tell me I'm hungry and want me to make her food. I tell her all of the sandwich options and all of the leftovers that would take her 2 minutes to heat up, and she'll just roll her eyes and leave, which I think is rude. We got into an argument yesterday where she told me I'm not holding up my end of the bargain. She wants breakfast, lunch, dinner, and snacks served to her throughout the day. Told her that if I'm making myself lunch or dinner, I will make some for her, but I'm not going to drop everything to stand at a microwave for 2 minutes when she's capable of doing that herself. I don't tell her when I think something needs to be cleaned, you know. Anyway, she thinks I'm being a jerk and I think she's acting childish. AITA. Edit. Okay, a lot of people think I'm the asshole here, which, after defending myself and still getting told I'm the asshole, I'm willing to accept. New question: will I be the asshole if I tell her I want to go back to how things were, where we both clean and both cook? Thank you. Edit 2. I'm definitely an asshole. Thank you all, really. I plan to change starting right now. I got my ass handed to me and I deserve it. I've been acting shamefully. Final edit: I've noticed an uptick in NTA comments and I don't want anyone to get downvoted because they didn't see my comments. We also have a newborn that she's been doing 95% of the care for, as well as breastfeeding. I should have mentioned that in the original post. Info: you seem to have cut down meal prep/cooking to a few hours a week. How many hours is she spending cleaning? This is an important question. She might still feel burnt out in comparison to Op if he's doing significantly less work. ESP: since Op said they just had a baby, and while he does take out the trash, he says the wife does cleaning and laundry. Op hasn't specified how the split baby care, which is important to know. Based on your comments, AITA, your wife is a new mom doing the bulk of the childcare and housework. You feed and walk the dogs, take out the trash, and take care of meals. It would be one thing if you were cooking every day, but buddy, meal prep 1 day a week and stocking stuff to make sandwiches isn't really doing all that much, and it's not giving your wife any variety at all. Not only that, but in other comments, you admit it's not that she's demanding specific meals, it's that she's so tired she lacks the executive function to make a decision on what leftovers to heat up, again, or what sandwich to make. Make the mother of your child a fucking sandwich, asshole. Edit: because of Op said it. Holy shit snacks. Op, I didn't think anything you said could make you a bigger ass, but you have truly outdone yourself with that one. Good to know Reddit can still surprise and horrify me after all this time. Once more, with feeling. Make the mother of your child a fucking sandwich, asshole. AITA, you did really well in this post at totally avoiding discussing what you're doing wrong. She just had a baby, she's doing all the childcare and most of the housework. You make 2 meals a week and just have to eat that all week. Those aren't equivalent amounts of work. You weren't honest in your post at all. You hid the fact that you have an infant that your wife is doing most, if not all, of the child care for. She does all the cleaning and the laundry. Your contribution is a fridge full of leftovers, walking the dogs and taking out the trash. AITA, she can't even get a hot meal served to her unless you're already making yourself dinner. I'm certain that's not what she thought she was agreeing to when she asked you to cook. She's also breastfeeding your child. Does she have to get up with the baby during the night while you sleep? Did you know breastfeeding women need to consume more calories? Did you think about the fact that what your wife eats, the baby eats? She's tired and hungry, and you think bulk cooking a vat of something on Sunday absolves you of responsibility. Also, leftovers technically only last a few days. No meal preppers think they can eat chicken that's 7 days old, but they really shouldn't. AITA for insisting my in-laws replace my son's car seat instead of my nephew's. Hey Reddit. I am married to a great man and we have a son together, Noah, 3 meters. My husband's sister and her partner also have a son the same age, Brody. We don't speak very often as we tend to clash a little bit, but are usually civil enough for the kids' sake. My in-laws live within walking distance to our house, and they asked to take Noah to the park. He of course had no problem with this, and switched his car seat from my car into theirs. They had a fun afternoon and then came home. However, we forgot to take the car seat out of their car. No matter. I wasn't going anywhere, so I said I would pick it up the next day. The next day came and they made excuses that they were using the car. I let it go, but a day soon turned into nearly a week and I still had no car seat for Noah. We didn't need it, as everything we needed was within walking distance, but it was just a bit annoying. Anyway, on the Saturday my husband hears that Mill was babysitting Brody for the day. Mill picked him up and used Noah's car seat, despite Brody having his own. Apparently they didn't want to make a fuss of switching them. This is actually a point where me and Sil clash, as I prefer to rear-face my son as long as possible and have bought a pricier seat to do so, whereas she believes this is stupid and a waste of money, and has an own brand front-facing seat which costs significantly less than our ERF1 and has been very vocal about how bad my choices are, how cruel I am. He must be bored/uncomfortable, so I was surprised to hear that she was happy to put Brody in such an uncomfortable seat. Long story short, they ended up in an accident. Everyone was fine, Brody included, which in part was due to the car seat. Obviously, since it was in an accident, it now needed replacing. The problem lies here. My Sil, and now Mill too, insist that, should their insurance pay for a new seat, they use the money to pay for a new seat to replace Brody's front-facing one. I disagree. It was their choice to buy that seat and they still have it. If they want a new one, they should pay for it. They used our seat that belongs to my son and now we don't have one at all. So we should get the replacement, since it was our seat in the first place. I think I'm right because it's an expensive seat and we aren't made of money. Mill and Sil are calling me an R to put a price on Brody's safety, but I disagree. She was the one to put a price on it by buying him a cheap seat in the first place, saying it doesn't matter and it's only a car seat when she knew the risks of what she was buying. I tried to help her back when she got it, but she told me I was stupid and would do better listening to her. AITA, we now have no car seat and will have to fork out for a new one, which I don't think is fair, but they seem to think I'm being awful by expecting ours to be replaced and not Brody's. I feel like I'm in a fever dream. NTA. How is this even a discussion? Course they replace your car seat. NTA. How are Mill and Sil even arguing about this? How would she feel if the tables were turned? Hypothetically, say you'd borrow her car which had more airbags and safety features, but you got into an accident. Everyone was okay because of said safety features, and when insurance replaced the car you kept that one and said you can have my car without airbags. The whole family would rightly be up in arms. NTA, but your husband seriously needs to step in here. It's his mom and sister who stole the car seat that you need for your kid, and you're the one arguing with them about replacing it. What happens if your kid had a medical emergency or needed to get somewhere ASAP? Would they have paid the ambulance bill? NTA. They basically held your seat hostage, used it even after telling you how stupid you are, which you are most definitely not, for buying it, and now that they wrecked it, even after it possibly saved their son's life, they want to be even bigger assholes. Unbelievable. In-laws are also assholes for enabling this and ignoring the needs and safety of your son for their blunder. AITA for telling my Mill that I'm not the one with fertility issues. Me, 32M, and my wife, 32F, have been trying to have a baby for several years now. Unfortunately, she is probably unable to get pregnant. We've run several tests, and it's only hers that come back with bad news. Additionally, I accidentally got a girl pregnant a few years before I met my wife. The girl had an abortion. Point is, I can produce kids, but my wife probably can't. I don't blame this on my wife at all. In fact, I'm excited to talk about our other options, adoption, surrogates, etc. I love my wife so much and I want to raise kids together, even if it's not biological. I was on the phone with my wife's mom the other day, and she started saying some weird stuff. She said it was okay that I couldn't have kids, but maybe we could find a sperm donor for my wife, and that she knew I'd be a good dad even if the kid wasn't related to me, etc. I was confused, so I told my mill that my wife was the one who was having fertility issues. My mill told me that my wife told her I was the one with fertility issues. I was sure it was a harmless misunderstanding, so I talked about it with my wife, and she got really mad at me. She said I had no right to tell her mom that she was having issues getting pregnant. She said it was something very personal to her and she felt awful just thinking about how her mom now knew it was her fault we can't have kids easily. It's not her fault. She didn't choose to have these issues. She said that it was her mom and I should have just gone along with it because she always wants to be seen as good and capable in her mom's eyes. I feel bad, but I had no idea she had told her mom it was me. Also, I don't know why she had to say who had issues with fertility when she could just say that we are having issues. My wife said I was an for telling her mom. Am I? NTA. As someone who struggles with infertility, I know where your wife is coming from. I felt like a failure as a woman and didn't want to talk about it with people. However, her mother brought it up and you simply responded. If your wife wanted you to back up her lie, she should have told you about it. Communication between the two of you in this situation is key. If she, and you, hasn't talked to a therapist about this, I highly recommend it. Very easy NTA. This is years of infertility talking, and it's all on me. My husband's described by our reproductive endocrinologist as having an honor roll member. Sorry, I only put that in there because if anyone should be able to empathize with your wife, it's me. But I don't. I mean, I do with the infertility stuff, but not with the lying to her mom, and not with the double down and getting mad at you for not upholding the lie. How were you even to know? It's not like she pulled you aside and told you of her ruse, and asked her to keep up the charade. Even if she did, you rightfully could / should have said no, let's just not give any info as opposed to giving false info. So, huge NTA from me. One thing though, 32 is so young. I hear that you've had tests. Have you gone through treatment? The prognosis doesn't have to be grim. I'm sitting here at 44 years old, finally pregnant after so many losses. I had a less than 5% chance of it happening, but tenacity has seemingly won the day, or we'll see if it does on / about the 7th of April 2021. Good luck. I'm happy that you've been able to get pregnant. Congratulations. We have been looking into treatments and our options, but I think it would make us both happy if we could manage to beat the odds like you did. NTA. I feel bad for your wife, but she's clearly got some control or childhood issues related to her mom. Maybe try to reassure her. Also, I want to mention that I'm adopted and I'm so damn grateful for my mom for adopting me and saving me from what I can only imagine would have been a super shitty life. Good luck regardless of what you choose. Yeah, her mom probably filled her head with lots of old-fashioned BS about the role of women / childbirth / mothering. She's still TA for not communicating to op, but I understand where it's coming from.